Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another Red Sonja book review. Today we're looking at number 17 in the series. This is the penultimate issue. It's by Thorin Grobek and Walter Giovanni as always, and this one was pretty good. I liked it when I read it, and it's been a few weeks since, but I did just finish reading the whole series. Chapter 18, or issue 18, was the last one. I read it the other day, like 2 days ago actually, when it came out. It might have come out 2 weeks ago actually, but I picked it up last Wednesday. Today's Friday. So overall, great stuff. I think this is a pretty good setup, and it's pretty enjoyable. So it opens up with Unar and Natali arguing about whether or not they should chase down Sonja. They should go down into the afterworld after her, and well, they kind of continue to argue. We transition away from them, and then we see that he did chase her. And he goes down into the afterworld. He sees that Sonja is trying to fight Kulangath, who has captured her at this point. And she's not doing that well because he owns chaos, or this realm, or whatever you want to call it. He owns, or he says he owns, this realm. As he starts to kill Sonja, I think he tries to like squeeze the life out of her. And Unar arrives to see this, and he lights a fire. And he finds burnable material, which is some wood, and also his own body. And so he throws his torch, he blows up the cave because there was some methane or something down there. It's kind of unclear what it was, but it did blow up. And so the cave gets destroyed. He dies burning to death, which is the original vision that Sonja had for him. Now, although the situation might have been different than it was previously, and Sonja manages to escape via the pool of water that is in the afterworld. She delves deeper into it and deeper, and she goes into the underworld at this point. But if we transition away from this here, we go to see the gods, and we see that Grace and Ymir are still battling in the same region as they were before, and they're currently battling this giant black dog, kind of like Cerberus, right? And we come back to Sonja, who is now in the underworld. She's in this tavern with this very buxom wench and some other people, and it turns out that this is Sonja's fun place. She's enjoying herself, but she realizes that something is off, right? She escapes it, and then she hears her childhood. She thinks, or she remembers back to what she was like as a child, and then Erlich shows up. He comes to her and he says that he wants what she has, and she says no to him. And so he makes her fight in this gladiatorial arena, and one by one she overcomes her enemies. Then she gets jumped by all of them together, and then they beat her, and so the soul comes out of Sonja and meets with Erlich, and they join together, and there's very subtle changes, but they're not significant, and Erlich is actually kind of afraid at this point. He's like, what if I don't change enough? What if my soul doesn't make a difference, right? Because he kind of is like a double character, right? And so they join, and the changes are pretty subtle, but they do exist. And then finally, he understands humanity better. He understands Sonja specifically better. And so he opens up a portal to lead Sonja back to the battlefield so that she can join the gods as they end the battle, right? And this is a really good issue. I enjoyed it. I think that Unar's sacrifice was pretty good. I like the way that Kulangath was initially beating Sonja, and then she ultimately defeats him. And I actually like the confrontation between Erlich and the Black-Eyed God. I think that it was about time that they met and that they actually interacted. I think that I also don't care enough about Erlich so that when he joins himself with his soul, it makes a difference to me. Like, it doesn't really make a difference to me at all, actually. And so that being the guiding force behind this storyline maybe isn't that meaningful, because that's what the introduction of Kulangath was about, right? Because Erlich doesn't really end up being the antagonist of the story. He just kind of becomes like a side character that's relevant to the plot line. And so I enjoyed the issue, but I think that the structure of the story, like all of the issues, maybe it's a bit convoluted, a bit kind of out there in a way that isn't necessarily beneficial to the story, if that makes sense. I have to go back and read all of this again to really, be able to say that definitively. But just remembering what I felt like reading through this series and kind of just like my interest in the character, I think that Walter Giovanni's artwork is significantly more valuable as a reason for me coming back to the story than Thorin Grobek's ability to write. I think she's a good writer. My understanding of her is that she's actually a pretty good writer. It's just that maybe Red Sonja is not the right type of character for her, or maybe it's actually the length of story that's the issue and not necessarily the character. Because I think the first 6 issues were pretty tight and very enjoyable. But moving forward into these later ones, there was kind of like a big lull in the middle. And I'm not sure if that's just kind of because of the nature of sword and sorcery comic books or what, right? But I think that there might have been a better way to write this story, right? So anyway, that's basically my thoughts on issue 17 and the story so far. I'll talk about it a bit more in issue 18, but I think it'll be more or less the same stuff that I said here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.